Hey guys, Jack here, and today I wanted to update you on some very exciting developments in the Phantom program and our quest to figure out how to unlock the Phantom bow. And you're probably wondering where the hell this place is, why is there a force field, and why is the bow floating? Also, how do I get to it? It's pretty freaking cool, right? Well, it's time for a little explanation. So as I'm sure you'll all know by now, Final Stand was released yesterday for premium members, and already many hours have been played, many searches have taken place, and many Easter eggs have been found. So let's go back to the start and try to cover everything so far. First things first, if we take a look at the password screen for the Phantom program right now, it says this: Phase 4 now active, physical access restriction in place. That's very interesting, and you can't actually type anything in there. So that leads us to believe that to unlock the bow and the Phantom operative assignment, we've got to go and do something, activate something in game. And this theory is backed up by this post from the mastermind Dice JJJU on the Battlelog forums. He said, last thing I'll say about Phantom Program 4 is this. Probably there's going to be loads of web pages, YouTube channels, Kevin Simpson impersonators, etc. claiming to be official Dice and coming up with Dice hints. Ignore all these hints since they're all going to be fake. Just play the game and one day you'll find it and solve it all. So from that, to figure this out, we've got to stay in game and somehow get past this physical access restriction. But what is the physical access restriction? Well, we think it's this elevator right here. On Hangar 21 at the back right of the hangar near the A point and the access tunnel where the Jeep spawns. If you go to the elevator, it's very dark and there's no power to it. You can't actually press the button in there either. It doesn't work. There's no interact prompt that comes up. So why this elevator? Why an elevator at all? Well, there's a guy called Battle Rush Gaming who did some digging around in the game files and found these 5 new sound files. Listen to this.
Управление лифта функционирует. Проверка доступа в процессе. Обнаружена аномалия. Доступ предоставлен. Здравствуйте, оперативники. Добро пожаловать в программу Phantom.
How cool is that? And if you don't speak Russian, these are the translations. Number 1, elevator controls operational. Number 2, access check in progress. Number 3, anomaly detected. Number 4, access granted. And number 5, hello operatives, welcome to the Phantom program. Awesome, so that pretty much confirms that we're looking for an elevator and somehow we need to get it working, we need to make it operational. But how do we do that and what happens when we manage to get it to work? Well, that's the problem, we don't know yet. It could be that there's a hidden button somewhere on Hangar 21 that's going to power up the elevator. It could also be that it's related to the dog tags you're wearing. I tried with the Phantom dog tag, the 4th floor dog tag, the Phantom camo on my soldier and on my weapons, and nothing, it doesn't work. Another theory is that it's related to the new futuristic looking microchip dog tags that were released with Final Stand, but it doesn't actually tell you how to unlock those in Battlelog. Why the secrecy? How do we get these? Some people have speculated that you secretly unlock these dog tags when you complete the Frostbite assignment, so I'm grinding my way through that at the moment to find out. Or it could be that on each of the new maps there's a secret place or something hidden that you can interact with to unlock them. And a couple of things from these sound files caught my attention. She says, hello operatives, welcome to the Phantom program. Operatives, it's plural, so that probably means that we can only access the elevator with multiple people, perhaps each wearing a different one of the new futuristic dog tags. And the anomaly detected line is interesting too, and I think that could mean if you're with somebody in the elevator who doesn't have premium, you're going to be denied access because the bow is a premium only weapon by all accounts. For example, someone could buy the Final Stand DLC on its own and not have premium on their account, therefore they're not going to be able to go down and access the Phantom bow, so that sound file might play. Next, assuming we get the elevator to work, where's it going to take us? Well, I think it's safe to assume now that it's going to take us to the Phantom facility which you see here. But how am I here if we haven't figured out how to get there yet? That doesn't really make sense. Well, if you use the BF4 cinematic tools developed by Hatiwati on an unranked server with Punkbuster disabled, you can actually turn yourself into a free camera, clip through the ground, and 3,000 meters under the map you'll find this place. And this was originally found by a guy called Danny on PC, and this is probably where you're teleported when you access the elevator. So what's down here then? Well, there's an elevator, and in front of the elevator is a force field, and next to the force field is a number pad, and presumably we can access the numpad with a specific dog tag to disable the force field. Or maybe we need to find out a new code to then enter into the numpad, disable the force field that way, get into the room and access the Phantom bow, therefore unlocking it and unlocking the Phantom operative assignment in the process. That is just awesome. I love it. This stuff is amazing. Also down here is another numpad on the wall. So what does that do? I mean, the door to the bow is open, so does that unlock something else? Finally, down here is another room with some servers and computer desks. On the surface, it just looks pretty normal. But if you fly up to the top of the room and look down, you'll see that the room is arranged in a fashion that spells out DICE CTE. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? I mean, this stuff is epic to me. This is some next level Easter egg community service right here. But using a free camera tool doesn't allow us to interact with the bow because our player isn't actually there and it's on an unranked server, so it wouldn't count anyway. We've got to figure out how to get down there ourselves on an official server without using the cinematic tools, and that is the new challenge. How do we power up that elevator? How do we disable that force field? As well as this crazy phantom stuff, there's been plenty of other new Easter eggs found too. On Hammerhead, there's a T-Rex snowman about to go ham on a city. Or is it Godzilla? I think that's new BF4 Godzilla movie tie-in DLC confirmed. On Giants of Corellia, there's a teeny tiny 2142 walker perched on the rocks here. If you interact with it, it makes this adorable wind-up toy sound. If you look on the ground there too, it says Ensong JJJU and Thite written next to it. I think those guys are all DICE employees. On a couple of the snow maps in certain locations where there are icicles, you can actually break some of them off and use them as knives. This one here can be found on Operation Whiteout by the Sea Flag. Go for those knife kills, there won't be any evidence when it melts. The perfect crime. And finally for now, back on Hangar 21, on the front side of the mountain hangar there are some really weird markings that look like a diagram of some sort, and the closer you get to them they actually disappear. Absolutely no idea what that is yet, and most interestingly enough, if you launch yourself to the top of the mountain you'll find this satellite buried under the snow. It's pointing directly at the moon and there's two buttons next to it. One of them has a lock and an unlock symbol on it too. Is this possibly something we could use to power up the elevator? Maybe. Only time will tell. That's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown of the current events. It's starting to get really exciting now. Thanks for watching. Leave me a rating and a comment and I'll see you in the next one.